Hello, welcome to Reign of Elements Magic's Initiation. Whatever, that was the wrong order. But first of all, I want to tell you that this game was being made for almost 10 years, a decade, and also it has combat, and the combat seems to be very good. And now let's get into the game because I can talk more there. Also, you can choose your icon interface or your interface. Well, for me, I like the icon bar. But it's all up to you. Now let's listen to some beautiful dialogue.
We all have a beginning. A moment that changes us, shapes us into who we are. For some, it is a quiet turn, planned, ushered in with precision. For others, it is a sharper twist of fate, leaving scars that never heal. For most, these moments are endured, accepted, even forgotten, while there are those who struggle to forgive, to forget. And there are some, just a few, who pass through the fire, wanting more. I know my beginning. I know where it will take me. It will fall to me, Dark, the mightiest of mages, to face my demons and save Eliwold. I summon you, fiend of the lower world. Rise and face your bane.
Okay, that's a nice story. Now, wake up.
Dark, wake up! You can daydream after your initiation. The masters are waiting for you in the hallowed hall.
So, as you can see, you play as a teenager or something like that. Yeah, you're a teenager. I think you're 16 years old. And you're supposed to be the strongest mage. Or will be the strongest mage. Now, before I go on, I'll just have to show you what the icon bar means. So, I prefer I would play with this, but it's up to you. Now, we also have our equipment screen here, which you have stats. Also some boosted. Scroll of identify. I haven't played a lot of the game, so I don't know a lot. That's the inventory, and also the character screen here shows you have Venom and money and armor, and also level experience and some other things. Now I prefer to use this interface.
There is not a great.
This is the best one to use it. Okay, now let's see how beautiful the game really is. Let's enter the mage tower.
The door is ajar. Bort has set the combination dial to Shadow Earth Shadow.
The tower is a lot bigger on the inside, like all the magical places.
It's a good thing I found you, Dark. It's not like I can check the records hall, and my finder amulet doesn't work anymore.
If I want any...
Okay, let's move on. Believe me, this is one of those beautiful games that you have to play even though it's not your style, but the story is good, the combat is good, the music is good, the art style is amazing, and the details are amazing as well.
It appears to be an incantation for growing a pine cone out of your head. This was fashionable in Dominatra about 5 years ago.
That's how you sound in your head, don't worry, that's not a bug.
When this room is used for informal hall get-togethers, mages tend to segregate themselves by element.
And I'll try to do this as a complete playthrough, meaning I'll explore a lot and speak with people a lot and do maybe a bit more combat and also
A pot filled with soil and a few budding seeds.
See all the dialogue options. Believe me, this will be a very long game. But now, let's speak to our friend here.
Nervous? You should be. Just don't be late like I was, unless you want to repeat a whole year. Good luck.
Thank you.
Only a select few are allowed in there, outside of the masters. It was established to keep track of hall traffic, so that the less frequented halls could be removed. It's a handy little trinket, let me tell you, though I wouldn't use it to keep track of someone you're interested in. They don't seem to like that. Or so I've heard. Anyhow, mine hasn't worked since its magical emerald faded. It's a special kind of large gemstone, said to be blessed by the elements. There aren't many like it. I got mine from the Greencap Goblins.
Why don't you just go back to their camp and ask for another one?
I would, but...
You're comfortable here.
There is that. Also, there's no way I could find their camp again without them wanting me to. Or without using my finder amulet.
Which doesn't work.
You see my problem.
Yeah, that's quite the problem. Now, as you can see, the dialogue is pretty balanced. I mean, it's not too slow or too fast, and you also have to... You can also read it if you don't like it. How it sounds in English, or if English is not your native tongue.
I don't know the combination.
Water, air, earth.
Okay, see you later. Now, from what I know, you can do a lot
I
of
can't
things.
think of a good reason.
I always do that. Okay, so no matter which door you pick, you will always go to that one.
I need to enter a combination for...
So, we have water, air and earth. The three elements. Now, let's meet our masters. Oh, this looks fancy.
Welcome, Initiate.
You have trained long and hard under our roof. Your element has chosen you well.
Already, your time as a novice is drawing to a close.
Soon you will demonstrate mastery over your power.
The time has come to claim your element.
He's so evil
Before
looking.
you begin, you must affirm that which has chosen you. Thoughts reflect your nature and your element alike. Respond carefully.
You see an old woman lost in the market quarter. She appears confused and begs you to help her.
You know what this reminds me of Prey. So the answer to all the questions is push the fat guy. Okay, let's not push the fat guy and see what the question is, and the answer I will choose. Don't insist. Ask her for directions just for fun. That's very mean. Assess her condition. Well, you're not a medic or something like that. Maybe just comfort her and walk her home.
A fight breaks out in the local tavern. The barkeep looks to you for help.
Okay, who do we beat up? Attack the... Okay, yeah. Try to break it up. Clear the tavern. Okay, so clear the tavern and watch them brawl. Maybe even bet on them. Yeah, place a bet on who's going to win. No, we'll try to break it up. We're the good guys.
The giftless, or non-mages, are...
What were they called in Harry Potter? Mudworks, Morlocks, Molochs? I don't remember. So the giftless are a potential threat to nature. Could be. A necessary ecological component. Wow, that's very deep, actually. A necessary ecological component. Yeah, but they deserve the blessing of the elements.
What is magic for?
Magic is for doing whatever you please. Not my style. No, I think it's a greater understanding of the
In your
world.
responses, you have demonstrated an affinity with the water. Do you agree with this assessment, Initiate?
Of course I don't agree with you. You are just very wise.
Then affirm now the element.
Now, usually people will go for fire because it's cooler, but not for me. Air is also cool, but not for me. Water will be good because I choose that, but instead I'll play with earth because maybe no one will play earth. Maybe earth is not as cool because dirt is never as cool as fire. But I'll play with earth. Maybe we can summon Captain Planet next. Can you guys summon Captain Planet? That's a serious question. You'll have to answer. You'll have to answer it. Earth, wind, fire.
You have affirmed your commitment to the earth. Your growth has impressed us. Let your knowledge ground you. You may request your first gifts from the sphere of knowledge.
Poof.
To earn the title of your kindred, you must fulfill 3 tasks.
Your first awaits across the lake upon Lone Island. There you will find a banished priestess, her beauty rivaled only by her cunning and treachery. Take but a lock of her hair.
Your second lies within the valley of our closest mountains, where our winged guardians keep watch over the town. Most prized are their griffin's eggs. Return with one.
The forest conceals your final task. Many beings and beasts dwell there, most with laws of their own. Bring back the horn of a trinicorn.
A warning. The townspeople are tolerant of our magic, yet care little for it.
Pass by them as the gentlest breeze, and leave them to their small affairs.
Go now, focus on your tasks. You have until the new day dawns.
Farewell, young novice. May your deeds ensure you a place in the memory of others.
Elements guide you.
Well, that was not a lot of explaining to. Maybe you should tell me how I should do those things. A tricord? So we basically got nothing out of it. Watch the robes. I think this is air, water, earth and fire. That's funny. Let's kiss the water
I think
mage.
they want me to leave.
Yeah, I think the same. Don't kiss the mages. Okay, now let's get serious because I was joking around. This is a beautiful hall, by the way. A bit empty and nothing really magical about it. Okay, so Darcy private hall. Let's go into our room. And this is why I love the game. That bed is twice as big as me. And we have a lion in our room. Yeah, his room is always nicer than yours. Okay, let's start exploring it because that's where
Study desk.
Also, that's a bag of gold or whatever the currency is here. Money. Okay, 30 gold, 30 coins. That's plenty enough.
I did not spend the last 10 years. I'll just leave my arms. I did not spend.
Is that a shirt over there?
I've been too. A mortar and pestle.
Oh,
If
we
I
need
need
that.
to use it, I can just do the grinding at this bench.
Okay, that won't work. Is that an apple? I love apples. Oh, it's a health potion. Okay, we'll need also the empty flask.
I should fill this flask in the fountain hall. Mage's water is always a good thing to have. The door combinations have changed recently. I wonder if there's a water mage who'd know it.
So basically every combination changes, and if you enter a combination you go into another room or a hall.
They were useful during all those nature excursions. Bort loved getting his feet dirty.
Sure.
I'm quite partial to this depiction. It changes according to my interests. I'm glad nobody saw it a year ago.
That's a nice poster. I want one. I want one.
A
You have
serene
convinced me.
vista. Fitting for the Mage retirement capital.
Okay, is that something I can take?
It keeps me warm. I would only burn. Why risk a Why?
What do you mean? I want you
It
to
is
open
said
it.
1 out of every 300 of these cupboards activates a portal to somewhere. I didn't get lucky.
Well, that's interesting. Then we have to find the one who did.
Why risk a concussion?
Oh, you mean pick it up and it will fall on your head? Okay, I understand now. So don't pick it up.
It is said, my friend, the king. My friend.
Okay, your friend.
A couple
the
of
king.
books I never got around to. Writing implement. I've been
Okay, we can't pick anything else.
You
That's
only
it.
have to think of touching it, and it a bedside
Okay, that's magical. Private
There
hall.
isn't an inch of stone I have not memorized. My home of homes for the...
Oh, so we have been studying for the last 10 years in here.
A shield from some defeated kingdom or other, from the days when mages were less studious.
Yeah, that's funny. Now, let's see. We got some items. I think that's all we could do in here. I'll play the whole game, but for now I'll just be exploring, and we won't get to do a lot in the first episode, but believe me, we'll do a lot of nice things later on. So let's go back to the reading hall, because I think we can do some more things with board. As you can see, we
Ready for
can-
your tasks? I wrote them down for you, just in case.
Give me the list.
Do not ask me how I know them. There is a reason I enjoy this job.
How do you know them?
Not that you'll need reminding, of course. I know you'll do us Earth Mages proud. After all, I taught you everything you know.
That's what troubles me.
Very funny. By the way, don't forget to acquire your first spells from the Sphere of Knowledge in the training hall. The combination is fire, light, light.
Thank you. So we got another item. Task list. Task 1, task task for get initiated. This is almost like Robocop. Directive 1, 2 and 3. Directive 4, a secret. Can I ask you something?
My tasks were somewhat different from yours. I had to bring back the skin of a 50-foot panther snake, a pearl from the bottom of the lake. We had mermaids back then. You would have loved that. And the cap from a green cap goblin.
What, a green cap?
I am just glad it was not a red cap. Those goblins dip their caps in blood and are not too particular about whose. Fortunately for me, the green caps were partial to tonics. I taught them how to make a special one.
Special one. That sounds interesting.
None can appreciate one's element more than an earth mage. It is in our nature, if you'll pardon the pun.
You know, okay, I understand.
Igenor's tower is unique, at least for 3 days' walk in any northerly direction. Then you'll find another exactly like it.
What?
It's
What
the
do you
best
mean?
job in the world to be caretaker of every book in this hall. Someday, I will have read them all. I have a fondness for natural studies, which should not surprise you. Also, I have taken a liking to history. I hope you've studied every volume like I told you. Our element does not reward ignorance.
By the way, we gained 5 experience. At 17 we gain a level.
I'm more inclined to research past the commonly known texts. The earlier, the better. You know, the stories of how the elements cleansed the old world, and how mages rose from among the giftless to protect what was left. Our ancestors must have really ruined things for the elements to react the way they did. Think of all that strange technology the giftless once had. All gone now, though one can't help but wonder if anything got left behind.
If it did, it would be our duty to destroy it.
Of course.
Technically. So the whole of the technology was destroyed by the elements were revolted. That's interesting. He did mention the ecological component. That means the people are ecological components now, not the masters of the earth or the nature of the elements. Interesting ideas for now. Very good. A short description and you get a lot of information.
There are an untold number of halls within this tower, which is what comes from making the best use of the same space. We can be a fickle bunch at times, I grant you, but I believe every mage has Eliwald's best interests at heart. I have no doubt that my element knew what it was doing when it picked me, in a naturalistic, polypantheistic sense.
You made that term up.
Maybe. But you can chant to it. Is there anything you do not already know about me? We've been friends since the day you arrived. Come to think of it, we're both lucky I started at this hall 10 years before you. I nearly went to the one in Saltdish. You are even luckier I was allowed to mentor you, After your initial one passed away from Scrabane's fever, I had only just been initiated. Youngest mage ever to have a pupil. Not bad, eh?
Not bad at all. Masters?
Who wouldn't want to be a master? With just 4 seats per tower, it remains an unrealized goal for most. To reach that level requires the highest discipline, with the exception of the High Masters of Dominatra.
I don't want to ask about that.
Meeting them is a rare privilege. If you ever get even half the chance, jump at it. If I could learn half as much as he has, I would die a happy mage.
But I don't want to die, I want to be immortal. That's why I became a mage, right?
We've always shared a policy of honesty, so you know my full opinion of you. However, if you would like me to reiterate...
No, you're right. We've covered that subject thoroughly.
Yeah, don't tell us. Okay.
The ideal place for an Earth Mage who wishes to spend his life in quiet contemplation and hard study.
Sounds exciting.
I think so. The Masters are looking to extend the initiation period to 4 days, up from 1. That doesn't help you, though.
What do you mean? I
heard that a new hall has been discovered in the tower. One the Masters had not commissioned. Sometimes I think this place has a life of its own.
That's what I like to hear. Also, we only have 1 day to complete all those tasks, but they are kind of hard.
Let me guess. You want to read up on your first task? What do you need to know?
Something about the lake.
I know just the thing.
It's magic.
You should be able to find it now.
Only you would know a book-finding spell.
There are a lot of old stories about Lorelei Lake, mostly to do with pretty fish girls and drowning.
That sounds interesting, I want to go there. But I don't like the drowning part. But we're a mage, so that won't happen.
I have never had the opportunity to visit, but there isn't a lot growing on it anyway. I have heard a lot about her. No idea if the anecdotes are true. You'll have to find out for yourself. She sleeps in a giant clam, like a vampire in a coffin.
I also like vampires, so I want to know more.
She collects the heads of failed initiates.
Okay, that's not what I wanted to hear.
All of her suitors have been transformed into suits of armor.
Could be a nice fate, why
She
not?
can paralyze every muscle in your body with the slightest breath. No one knows what she really looks like, as she constantly changes her appearance by wearing others' heads. Never say her name, or you will share her imprisonment forever. Look her in the eye and you will turn into a block of granite.
That's a lot of
I believe their service did not end well. By all accounts, she got off lightly.
What do you
After
mean?
all those centuries, she might welcome a haircut.
So she's an old mage or
A
something
single
like that?
kiss, and you will become her willing slave. Her voice can shatter crystal. Her voice can shatter crystal. All of her suitors...
Okay, we learned all we can about her. See you later.
By the way, don't forget to acquire your first spells from the Sphere of Knowledge in the training hall. The combination is fire, light, light.
Okay, let's read the book, and then I think I'll end the video. That was interesting. Didn't read everything, but I got most of it. That's a nice drawing of a crab, by the way. Okay, so basically we explored the first part of the game, we got some items, we visited our room, and in the next episode we'll do a lot more adventuring and get our spells. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye!